guys. I want to talk today about Neptune going direct in a general principle, not the all signs video, which is coming up or already up by the time you listen to this. But Neptune will be going direct in the sky this year in Pisces, because he's been in Pisces since 2012. But the way it's happening, the stationary direct on December 1st, is creating this enchanting little triangle, like a mini grand trine. It's quite a blessed little thing. And it has two sextiles bound together by a trine, or 260 degrees bound together by an angle that is auspiciously 120. And that's the nature of Venus, the nature of Jupiter. And it's an incredibly powerful energy, because Mars will be triangling in a positive Jupiterian vibe, 120 degrees away, Neptune. Well, Venus is at the apex of this triangle in Capricorn, in sextile to both. Now, these are auspicious alignments, and I want to talk to you about what it might mean. I'm not going to do the all signs. I've already done that. What I want to talk about instead is I want to talk about how I think this is quite the enchanted version of Neptune in Pisces since 2012, as he stations to go direct on December the 1st. It can bring a deep, heightened sense of alchemical, magical potency and spiritual warriorship to the forefront of my life, your life, everyone's lives. Neptune rules your higher imagination, your God-given right. You know, your imagination lays the tracks for the reality train to follow, I think is a Caroline Casey astrologer statement, but it's true. And I don't mean that we have all the power of the secret, but with that Mars, the god of action, right, in Scorpio, in great dignity, in a trine to Neptune, the god of higher imagination, divine unconditional love, and the force of creative visionary energy. It's it's alchemical, it's pure alchemical magic. And they're both beaming their gaze up to Venus in Capricorn. And Venus in Capricorn is boss baby. She's very practical. She's got refined luxury tastes and stuff. But that's where she's sitting, with a star maiden, Astraea, on one side of her and Pluto on the other. It is a highly potent piece of sky. I am more than intrigued. I'm so intrigued because I haven't seen such a juicy Neptune moment for a long time that I'm going to create a little course. Check the box below, just a couple hours with me, probably on a Zoom webinar, where we're going to dive into this together to see how we can use it in our own lives, using the power of visioning and trance journey work. I don't know if some of you know this, but I am a officially trained shaman in various traditions. And I think what I want to try to create for that space of that direct day is something we can all really do a leapfrog on, and maybe create a little bit of a juicy talisman of some sort, or a potentized vision board. You know, the day of this direct station, the moon is balsamic, meaning it's coming into that last waning crescent moon before it goes dark. And even though we totally don't usually do manifestation magic on balsamic moons, or certainly create talismans, because the waning moon is like losing power, losing light, this is different with Neptune. Neptune is the god of your dreams at night and your imagination. And it is that luminous liminal in between the world's realm that is the balsamic moon. And people born to that waning moon, that last crescent moon, like me, I mean, we are the walkers between the two worlds. We have a sense of the liminal, the other realms, the interdimensions. We are psychic, we are magical beings. I remember as a kid, we're also very sad, lonely, and isolated sometimes, because we're kind of like, we feel balsamic moon people like we are the witches that are outcast from society, or that we are the only one that remembers the Garden of Eden, and we wish the rest of our companions on earth would remember that with us. There's always a quality of almost a nostalgic bittersweetness for the Garden of Eden, for the gates of heaven, with all the balsamic moon people, with as well a service to the greater good. So, and the reason I'm bringing up this balsamic moon is that I believe that Neptune and balsamic moon energies are very, very alike. And so even though a balsamic moon is not necessarily your classic let's all manifest together, in this case, I think if your sentiment in sensibility is towards the magical, the interdimensional, and the spiritual, this is a potent moon on which to cast a spell of exquisite high imagination for the highest vision of your 2022 year ahead, because that's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm inviting you to join me on my Zoom webinar. And as I'm recording it, I don't even know what I'm going to do, because I just came up with this idea this morning. So check the description link below. Now, not only is this December 4th stationary Neptune magical and enchanted because of this trine to Venus in sextile to Venus and trine to Mars from Scorpio and Venus in Cap, but it's also got some really lovely stars and asteroids attending to it. And that really potentizes it and builds it up another notch. So let's go into the details of that. I'm going to grab the chart and show you what I'm seeing, and I'm going to explain what asteroids are there so you can get just as excited as I am by this magical sky. Okay, so here's the chart, and I'm hoping you can see that. I'm going to keep it small for now because I want to read something to you, and I have two screens open. But the gist I'm hoping you're seeing here is that we have an easily visible little mini grand trine here, and we see that the warrior Mars is in that gorgeous, supportive Jupiterian luck and opportunity, magical alchemy with Neptune. And, a couple of days before that, it's even more precise, but it's still engaged and active. So it's been building. And on the day that Neptune stations direct, which is December 1st, it's really activating Neptune to go ahead and have permission to accomplish what the deal is here. But with Venus at the tip of this triangle and Pluto and the star maiden Astraea, star maiden is the archetypal god of Mount Olympus, who didn't leave humanity behind when the gods packed their bags. She's kind of a bit of a dedication to humanity no matter what, kind of a bodhisattva, help the world vibe. So anyway, she's up there with Venus and Pluto. Now, this intense trio is also attended to by, especially Venus. She's conjunct Urania, one of the 9 muses of Greek mythology. And Urania was the muse of music, song, dance, also astronomy and astrology. And one of the things I love about that is I want to harness this muse asteroid Urania on Venus in order to do something very creative on the day of the station direct that is also potentized with talismanic enchanted manifestation juju. Venus is also conjunct Hermes, the messenger of the gods. That's similar to Mercury, but this is the other version of it. It's the Greek version. And Hermes is also alchemical, magical energy to do with record keeping, to do with the Hermetic arts, to do with travel. But, it's also that mystical Egyptian Hermes thrice great, Hermes Trismegistus vibe, sitting the magical potency of Hermes, the thrice great magician, on Venus, along with Urania, the god, the muse is up there. So it's so juicy. I don't even know how to, I'm a bit of a geek on how juicy this is. The moon is conjunct Lucifer. Don't panic. It's the light bearer, the brightest of all angels. Even though it's the waning, small crescent before it goes dark moon over here, it is getting ready, and it's getting ready to go dark. It is actually on the lightest and brightest angel of all time, Lucifer. That's different than Satan. Learn your mythology, learn your stuff. Satan means the adversary, Satan, and that is not what Lucifer is or was. It was an angelic being in mythology, and Lucifer, the light bearer, is also connected to Venus. All right. Venus has a morning star and an evening star bearing, and it is the evening star that is connected to Lucifer. And of course, we can see that this is a very Venusian energy between Venus and Neptune. So we have this kind of Venusian moon connected to the light of Lucifer, the light bearer, the light bringer. That moon is also on a beautiful star called Gay Crux. That balsamic moon is on a very soulful star that has to do with bringing the spiritual impulses we have into reality, right? It's a manifestation star on the moon on the day that Neptune, the god of high imagination and magic, is going direct. So you can't make this kind of sky up. Mars is also prominently placed on Hadar. This is a star of worldly success, positive omen, and it's how success and things can happen magically, how serendipitously and synchronistically things can appear when you need them. So Hadar is sitting with Mars, who is trining Neptune. Finally, Pluto is conjunct 2 things that I find fascinating. Diana, the archer, right? Which is also Artemis, has the 2 hunting dogs. She was like she was a patron of midwives and women in childbirth, and she never had children herself, but she protected what we were birthing into being. And she also took great aim to hunt for what she wanted. And Pluto was with that archetypal huntress / protector of mothers and childbirth. What do we want to give birth to in 22? Each of us, it's a sacred flame of something we actually want and care about, not the Maserati, okay, not the penthouse. Yes, you can have that, but why do you want them? Go deeper. This is not that kind of a manifestation. It's a balsamic moon. It's coming from your soul. What is your soul wishing to bring and birth into the world with the protection of Pluto, the mafia Don guy who's got it your back here, the godfather, with Diana, the protector of those who birth things into the world, the mothers and of the world. She is like the ultimate midwife. Peacock is a star which Pluto is sitting on as well. Love that. Peacock is about intensity, about passion, about shining your little feathers in the world. And lastly, Astrea, the star maiden, she's sitting on Vega. That's the lyre of Orpheus. It has to do with manifesting harmony in the world and having artistic talent as well. Now, remember, this is not a natal chart. This is a sky time in which all of these players are teaming up for this little bit of enchantment that we can capture most acutely on the day that Neptune is slowed right down, turned around, and stationed direct. That's a Wednesday, December the 1st. I looked at my calendar this morning. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it'll be in the evening of Wednesday, December 1st. By the time you're watching this, I put a link below to what kind of an hour and a half to 2 hours you can do with me on Zoom, and we can do some sky magic together. And I'm really jazzed about it. I can't tell you, I haven't seen this kind of sky enchantment for a long time, and I'm all ready to like harness it with my vision board or my magical talisman or whatever we're going to do together. And I'm going to bring a shaman friend of mine in if she's available. I have to ask her. Her name is Renee Baribeau, to do her wind whistle and open ceremony and hold space for us, and maybe even bring us into contact with the wind that is most apt of all the winds and the wind work she created. Her book is a brilliant book, The Winds of Spirit, award-winning book about the world's winds and their magical powers to direct us. Hopefully she's available, because it would be great to have her blow the wind whistle and call in a wind from her wind bag, I call it, her bag of winds, her little wind cards. All right, guys, that's it. That was kind of the gist of come find the magic and enchantment in a beautiful sky with me. This is going to go up on YouTube, but I'll also maybe share this video with my email list. Love you guys. Mwah. Like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Sign up for my newsletter, 30% discount off on all my readings. I'll get entered into a draw once a month. I get a free course from me called the Annual Perfections 90-minute course to download or access. All of that comes when you just sign up for my newsletter, where I reach you once a week with the forecast of the week ahead in great depth. Why do I want you there? Because if something goes down and I lose my channel or reality falls apart, I have a way to reach you and you can reach me. All right? It's free. All right. Thanks, guys.